I am Nifemi Oguntoye. Will begin in the Federal Capital Territory, where President Muhammadu Buhari and his Togolese counterpart, Farouk Nasege, on Tuesday discussed ways of addressing security challenges confronting the ECOWAS sub-region. President Nasege, after a closed-door meeting with President Buhari at the presidential villa, says both multilateral and bilateral issues were discussed with the president. He added that they spoke about the reform at ECOWAS, which used to have 15 commissioners, but has been scaled down to 9 to ensure efficiency. He also says he agreed that the next ECOWAS summit, scheduled for December 16th, be held in Abuja. In the meantime, President Muhammadu Buhari has now submitted 3 executive bills to the Nigerian Senate for consideration and passage. The executive bills are the Nigerian Natural Medicine Development Agency Bill 2017, the Raw Materials Research Development Council Repeal and Reenactment Bill 2017, and that for the establishment of the Federal Institute of Industrial Research. President Buhari's request is contained in a letter read out at the floor of the Red Chamber by Senate President Bukola Saraki at Tuesday's plenary.
Repeal and Reenactment Bill 2017. I forward herewith for your kind consideration the Raw Materials Research and Development Council Repeal and Reenactment Bill 2017. It is my hope that the Senate will consider and pass the bill in your usual expeditious manner. Please accept, Mr. Senate President, the assurances of my highest consideration. Yours sincerely, Muhammadu Buhari.
In his letter, President Muhammadu Buhari also conveyed to the Senate his decision to withhold assent to 2 different bills passed by the National Assembly, which are the Chartered Institute of Treasury Management Establishment Bill and the Federal University of Wukari Establishment Bill, citing Section 58, subsection 4 of the Constitution.
Phrases utilized in the bill. For instance, the phrase Treasury Management is not defined in the bill. B. Greater clarity may be required regarding the impact of the bill on the central bank's regulation of treasury managers in banks and the relationship between the proposed institute and other existing professional institutes that regulate treasury managers in Nigeria. Please accept, distinguished Senate President, the assurances of our highest consideration.
Minister of Transportation Rotimi Amechi has now briefed the Senate Committee on Land and Transport on the proposed concession of the narrow gauge rail network to General Electric GE. Updating the Senate Committee on the rail project expected to cost $2.7 billion, Amechi says the Minister of Transport has reached an interim trade agreement with General Electric, and based on that, the company is expected to carry out the different phases of executing the project.
The 30-phase entail. 30-phase means that they will bring in $45 million. They will bring their own $45 million and begin minor repairs to enable the narrow gauge or the train to be able to carry out these activities on the narrow gauge. But basically, they are going to focus on Lagos Kano. Port Harcourt, Maiduguri will happen when they have financial closure. Financial closure means that they have seen where to borrow the $2.7 billion.
The Transportation Minister also noted that the construction of the narrow gauge through Lagos will be particularly crucial in easing the problems of the Apapa gridlock.
We believe that if we sign the agreement between December and January, they should start decongesting Apapa Seaport. So we want to transfer the cargo in Apapa Seaport to the train so that we can solve that gridlock. The reason why you have the gridlock is because everybody is trying to go into Apapa Seaport to convey their goods out of the seaport.
Earlier, Chairman, Senate Committee on Land and Transport, Senator Olugbenga Ashafa, expressed Senate's commitment to ensuring cooperation with the executive for the prompt execution of projects that have direct bearing on the people.
In light of the foregoing, we restate our commitment to ensuring that we partner with the executive to ensure that Nigerians reap the benefits of all the promises made to them by this administration.
In the meantime, Senate President Bukola Saraki says the ECOWAS Parliament has a crucial role to play in delivering people-oriented solutions to the numerous challenges facing the sub-region. Represented by Senator Ike Kweramadu, Saraki slated this while delivering a speech at the opening ceremony of the second ordinary session of the ECOWAS Parliament in Abuja on Tuesday.
The Lake Chad region is currently the scene of the most neglected humanitarian crisis in the world, with millions displaced and whole population threatened by hunger and famine. Nigeria's northeast region has been devastated by the Boko Haram insurgency. West African citizens are being sold into modern-day slavery, and desperate children of the region are dying tragically on the Mediterranean Sea.
He says it was heartwarming that the ECOWAS Parliament has fast evolved from a mere ceremonial body to a serious legislative body that is at par with those of other regions of the world.
Similar regional cooperation organizations around the world, including the European Parliament and East African Legislative Assembly, in exercising legislative functions such as community lawmaking, the passing of the budget, and oversight responsibilities.
The ECOWAS Parliament is a sub-regional body comprising lawmakers from ECOWAS member countries. The 2017 second ordinary session will discuss issues ranging from sub-regional integration, free movement of persons in the sub-region, to the growing concerns on illegal migration and slavery, among others. And now to the Grain Chamber, where the federal government has been urged to urgently address the security challenges in Shinkafi local government area and other parts of Zamfara state. This followed a motion of urgent national importance sponsored by Honorable Abubakar Muriki, representing Shinkafi Zomi Federal Constituency of Zamfara State. Muriki says some armed gunmen suspected to be cattle rustlers invaded two villages, Malamawa and Tunga Maikau, in Shinkafi local government area of the state last weekend.
People, it has to do with destruction of properties. It has to do with fear and general insecurity in the communities that I represent, and in general in the state that I represent, which is Zamfara State.
A tetrahedron. First and foremost, Mr. Speaker, we must recognize that the success that has been recorded in the world, in Syria, as well as in Iraq, have ensured that, in the words of the people who say, that the terrorists have been dislodged.
Anywhere we have peace, business can grow, atmosphere will be okay, economy will be very, very fantastic, because there's a saying that says that a peaceful environment is sine qua non to economic development.
The House then unanimously adopted the motion and mandated the committees on public safety and national security, defense and police affairs to carry out a thorough investigation into the remote and immediate causes of the recent attacks and report back to the House. Meanwhile, the House of Representatives has mandated its committees on power and public procurement to investigate the alleged fraudulent sale of Power Holding Company of Nigeria, PHCN's non-core assets and scraps. The House also ordered that the further sales be stopped pending the outcome of the investigation. The directive follows the adoption of a motion under matters of urgent national importance by Honorable Rita Orji from Lagos State.
Communities who made the bidding process through the auctions that was published in the ones they agreed to, the money they paid to them were returned back to them, because their allegation is that it is 3-point-something million for one and some paid, and it was 1-point-something. How much was this thing sold?
Another lawmaker who spoke on the motion bemoans the sale of assets by persons charged with the responsibility of providing electricity.
That light is the most essential thing in the world, because even God said in Genesis 1:3, "Let there be light," and there was light.
The House, in adopting the motion, however, urged the committees to monitor further sales of the remaining overtime cargoes. You're watching Galaxy TV News. We have more stories after this break. Stay with us. The federal government has expressed its readiness to encourage states across the country to establish vocational and entrepreneurial colleges in order to implement the government's policy of industrializing the country. Vice President Professor Yemi Osinbajo disclosed this while commissioning the International Vocational Technical and Entrepreneurship College in Kwara State. He wondered why Nigeria would import artisans from neighboring countries when the country is blessed with enough manpower in all sectors.
Said that it is time for us as a nation to produce all of the things that we consume and to grow what we eat. We have the most talented young people anywhere in the world.
Meanwhile, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo says collaboration between private and public sector is key to achieving the needed infrastructure that will galvanize the development of Africa's aviation sector. The Vice President disclosed this at the opening of the 3rd Annual World Aviation Forum in Abuja. State House correspondent Inabuchi Okeunabuchi has details in this report.
It was a convergence of stakeholders at the 3rd Annual ICAO Conference in Abuja. The conference is another platform for key players in the sector to determine ways of adding value to the world aviation. Providing infrastructure that will fast-track the development of the Nigerian aviation sector has been a major challenge for successive administration in the country. But Vice President Professor Yemi Osinbajo declared that the federal government is in talks with the African Development Bank to provide funds to ensure needed infrastructure that will put the nation's aviation sector at par with those of the advanced world.
Infrastructure. And we think that this is timely and appropriate for 2 reasons. The first is a general one. World aviation is a major economic force, and there is no question that its exponential growth in the coming years is guaranteed. According to the 2017 Aviation Benefits Report, and I quote, current forecasts indicate that the air traffic volumes will double in the next 15 years.
Buttressing the position of the Vice President, the Minister of State for Aviation, Hadi Sirika, urged investors to assist in developing Nigerian aviation infrastructure, considering its huge market.
The theme of this year's forum, financing the development of aviation infrastructure, could not have been more apt, considering the infrastructure deficit in the aviation sector, not only in Nigeria, but in most parts of the world.
On his part, the President of the African Development Bank, Akinwumi Adesina, advocated liberalization as the key to unlocking the potentials of Africa's aviation sector.
The African Development Bank is delighted to be a partner with ICAO and Nigeria for this forum. The hosting of this global forum here in Abuja is a clear mark of confidence in the government of Nigeria.
The stakeholders had on Monday held a closed-door meeting with President Muhammadu Buhari on the need for government to invest more into Nigeria's aviation sector.
21 persons have been confirmed dead and about 30 others seriously wounded following a bomb explosion at the mosque in Mubi area of Adamawa State earlier on Tuesday. Northeast Coordinator of the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, Idris Garba, disclosed this to Galaxy News correspondent in Mubi. As Muslim faithful were observing the usual early morning prayers at about 5:30 a.m., 2 young suicide bombers entered the mosque and detonated the explosives, which killed 15 persons on the spot. Authorities of the General Hospital Mubi told news crew that 6 persons later died in the hospital as they were receiving medical attention, while 8 were rushed to the Federal Medical Center, Yola, for advanced treatment. The NEMA coordinator in charge of Northeast, Idris Garba, says the hope that casualties receiving medical attention would make it.
You know, from the hospital records and from records from the health sector working group, and an personal evaluation which we have conducted with you people around here, we have 21 registered dead. Then we have over 20 who are injured. Those that fall within the serious injury category were moved to Federal Medical Center Yola. They are 8 in number.
What I am urging movie community is that everybody is security business. Please do not crowd in one place. That's the situation.
Mubi, hometown to Adamawa State Governor Muhammad Umar Jibrila, is a 270-kilometer drive away from Yola, the state capital. The incident is the first in 3 years since Mubi town was liberated from Boko Haram, which earlier hosted its flag there and declared it a caliphate. As at the time of filing in this report, a mass burial of the 21 dead persons has been carried out according to Islamic rites. Normalcy is, however, yet to return to the area, as the people who were thrown into pandemonium are still confused and apparently despaired. Away from there now to Imo State, where staff of the Federal Medical Center Owerri have accused its management for allegedly cutting down their salaries without any genuine reason and also withholding their promotion results. Chairman Joint Health Workers Union stated this during a peaceful protest held at the center in Owerri.
Why we are here mainly is that what is happening here is not happening in other centers. Especially people who just wake up one morning and decide to stop salary of staff. People who just wake up and decide to reduce some people's salary. Instead of paying people what they are supposed to receive, you pay some people half, you pay some people full. The painful part of it is that in September 2017, we just noticed general cut down of people's salary. Some people lost 50,000, 60,000, 100,000 in this Nigeria of these days.
Some of the union members who spoke to newsmen after the protest expressed dismay over the actions of management, describing it as inhuman.
Enough of all this. Let them give us our money. Let the due process follow in this hospital. Let us have the benefits other hospitals are having. We are not the only federal medical center in this Nigeria, but we are being marginalized. We've had enough. We can't continue this way.
We hoped even the current management will be able to learn from the past and address the future. But it seems as if to say the present management is even learning the worst faster than the evil done in the past.
Stakeholders in Lagos have been implored to collaborate with healthcare professionals in reducing maternal and child mortality in the state. Wife of the Lagos State Governor, Bolanle Ambode, who gave the charge at the town hall meeting held in Ekpe, says a lot of maternal deaths are avoidable if expectant mothers access quality reproductive health care, including skilled attendants at birth.
The support of families and communities is key to maternal and child mortality reduction. Inputs from a wide range of groups and individuals is also essential, including community and religious leaders, women's groups, youth groups, other local associations, and healthcare professionals.
The State Commissioner for Health, Dr. Jide Idris, highlights the efforts of government in reducing maternal and child mortality, stressing the need for all to contribute their quota in the campaign.
Whatever we want to do, we want to do together to reduce maternal mortality rate and infant mortality rates. All of us have a role to play. And more importantly, at the local government level, our CDAs, our CDCs, our local government chairmen, our community leaders, and our traditional leaders, we all have a role to play in reducing maternal mortality. What we have in Lagos State is not good enough. We have to save our pregnant women. We have to save the lives of our young children when they are delivered.
Some of the stakeholders laud the initiative of the state governor in reducing the maternal and child mortality in the state. They underscore the need for expectant mothers to be cautious of danger signs in pregnancy.
Fever is one important sign of pregnancy. Pregnancy. When the fever occurs, you look at it, it's a very important sign. You don't just take it out, just Ibalason. It is not that. and everything. We need to look at it. It could be a sign of malaria, severe malaria, which is very dangerous for pregnant women and the child or the unborn child. It could be a sign of infection in any part of the body. If fever is not controlled, there will be premature contraction and labor and everything.
There are medical facilities in some of these rural communities. The state has done its own bit, but in most cases, the health workers posted to these centers do not stay there. And therefore, access to emergency services, is still a major issue.
To our mothers, they just think about only maybe immunization, but it's beyond immunization. That is why your presence in this town hall meeting is so crucial, and we know it will move Lagos State forward in not a small measure.
You're watching Galaxy TV News. We have more stories after this break. Stay with us.